I used to live on a farm where I raised pigs and chickens and grew corn, rice, and beans to feed my family. I lived a satisfying life, but that all ended when I was 29.
In 1975, the country of Laos lost a government civil war against the communists.
The king and his army, whom I supported, lost to his communist brother. I, along with the rest of the king's followers, decided to flee to Thailand. After a few years, the United Nations brought a piece of land where we, non-citizen immigrants, were sent to live. There were too many of us who migrated here to Thailand. My family and I were considered refugees, but we were treated like the pigs that I used to raise on my farm back home.
Refugees were never allowed to leave the barbed wire fences that marked the borders of their refugee camp. They would be beaten with batons regardless of their age.
Every 2 weeks, the United Nations delivered food to us, but it was never enough. I've been in this refugee camp for almost a year, but it felt as if I've been here all my life. I know this place too well. There are 25,000 people in this camp and every one of them wants to leave. We can never call this place home. It was the day we were going to receive food. There were more UN workers here today than usual. Eventually, families were being pulled to the side to talk to the UN workers. Days went by and my family still didn't get a chance to talk to anyone. After a year, I have lost all hope. I was about to sleep when I was called over. I jumped up with joy and ran towards the worker. He asked me questions about any relatives I had in the countries France, Australia, Canada, or the US. I told him that I had a cousin in the US. He began to write something down on a paper. My eyes followed the tip of his pen. I haven't heard from him or any other UN worker for another month. In April, my family and I received notice that we were finally being placed in another country, America. When I arrived in Oakland, California, I immediately noticed the huge buildings that tower over the bright blue skies. We arrived with nothing but the clothes on our back. I spent nights worrying about how I would be able to feed my family. I was on welfare for a couple of months. While I was on welfare, I was going to adult school to learn how to speak this country's language, English.
Hi, my name is Mary.
The teacher would enunciate slowly. Hello, my name Lai. I would respond quickly in hopes of ending this moment as fast as possible. English was a language that was unfamiliar with my tongue. I was only in adult school for 1 year before I had to leave and find a job. Eventually, I found a job installing TV cable lines. I was proud of my accomplishment. I have now been an American citizen since 1996, 8 years after I came to this country. Laos is no longer the place I call home. I can never live there again because it has changed so much. Besides, I have already established a happy family here. It would be way too difficult to go back and leave everything behind again.